Very funny, Chobot. You know, I'm playing with this. I'm not actually licking it. So I think we're going to be okay. But yeah, we are here with the Wii. I do have the development unit, and it's right behind me, as you can see. So let's kind of pan in for a closer look, if you don't mind. Before I take you through the interface, I wanted to show you the actual system itself. This is a development unit. It's not reflective of a final unit because you can see it's not glossy white all over. It's got a green front. So a big question is, you know, from a lot of people, how do Wii discs load into this thing? Is it smooth? Is it clunky? Is it great? Do you love it? What? So here we are. I've got a Wii disc, and I'm going to just pop it in and show you. Look at that. Simple, pretty quiet for the most part, and it boots right up. If you were looking at the Wii interface now, you can see that disc is spinning, and what's going to happen in a second is it's going to actually read the game in there, which is Trauma Center, by the way. And yeah, I could pop right in there and play it if I wanted to. But I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to inject it, take it out again, and I'm going to show you also what it looks like to put a GameCube disc in there. And I've got a SpongeBob here, brand new, and I'm going to pop that in there. Look, really simple. There's nothing to it. I mean, it's really just, it takes both discs, and it doesn't have any trouble doing it. And that's the way it should be. It's very seamless. After all, this is a system that can play both Wii and GameCube titles. All right, so I've shown you the disk drive. Now let's take a look at the Wii Channels interface. This is actually the main interface powering the unit. I'm going to turn on. It's going to boot up behind me. And of course, you still have the general health and safety warning, which I'm going to cycle through now. And right beyond that, the first thing you're going to see is the Wii Channel interface. So let's take a look. Okay, here we are on the Wii Channels interface, and the first thing you're going to notice, obviously, is that there's not too many channels. The reason for that is, well, this is the development unit, which means that, obviously, not everything is in place. What developers do is they get firmware upgrades every so often, and that adds more functionality to their hardware. Right now, we're in very basic mode, which means that you can load a disc in the disc channel here, but you're missing your photo channel, your Me channel, your weather forecast, your shopping channel, and whatever else you might have, including virtual console games. Still, look, you've got icons, 12 apiece, that go all the way over, room for 48 entire things, so, you know, it's quite a bit to choose from. Before we get to any of that stuff, though, let's just go to your basic settings menu, and that is located down here on the Wii icon. So I clicked on that, and it brings up two more options. You can either go to Data Management or your Wii settings. First, let's go to Data Management. And again, you can choose between Wii or Nintendo GameCube. And this is basically your memory card management. So I've got room for slot A or slot B. You can see I don't have any GameCube packs inserted into my GameCube docking station on the hardware, so there's nothing to manage. Let's pop into Wii. You can see there's a lot more room because, of course, everything is being stored on the internal 512 megabytes of flash memory. And, you know, you can click on your saves. I've got a Trauma Center save here. I can erase if I want to. It shows you exactly how much everything's taking up. But I'm not going to do any of that. We're going to go on out. All right, so we have the option now for Wii settings, which is really the meat and potatoes of this demonstration because, you know, we don't have a lot of channels to take you through, but there is actually a lot here to show you. So first of all, on the basic Wii settings screen, you've got your console nickname. And I'm going to click on that, but we're going to blur it out because obviously this is not our console, and I don't know if people want us to advertise that nickname. Next, we've got the calendar, which is pretty straightforward. You can manage your date or your time, and it works on, well, you can scroll up and down between the arrows here, and it's as simple as that. I'll go back out of there and go into time, and you can see it works on a 24-hour clock. Again, not going to confirm, I'm just going to back out. So, next thing up on the list is the screen. I find this section very interesting as a kind of a video file. So first of all, you've got your screen position, which is, you know, left or right if you want to do that. I've really never used this, but I imagine some people, their TV is just a little bit off and that comes in handy. Next, though, are the widescreen settings. You can choose to select either 4:3 or 16:9 if you want. And what this means is, every time your Wii boots up, if the game is compatible, it's going to run 16:9 automatically. If you remember back in the GameCube day, you actually had to go into each individual game and select that, which was kind of a pain in the butt. So that's gone. And the same applies for your resolution. You can choose to run in standard 480i, or if you've got component cables, and good luck finding them, you can also run in EdTV or HDTV enhanced 480p, and that's basically progressive scan. Obviously, Wii does not do the higher resolution 720p or 1080i or, God forbid, 1080p. But 480p is still looking pretty good, and it does support that, and 99% of the games actually are compatible. So, and the final selection here under screen is screen burn-in reduction. You can turn that off at any time, or you can turn it on. I think it basically just sort of works as a screensaver function, or maybe it does some pixel rotation so that when you've got something left on a static background, you're not going to get burned in. So, back out of screen and into sound. And what we've got here are three options, very simple: mono, stereo, surround. And obviously surround is going to be your Dolby Pro Logic 2. So we're going to scroll over here, and you can see we've got a whole bunch more options, including parental controls, sensor bar, internet, and Wii Connect 24, which is, for the time being, not accessible. So let's go in here, modify these settings. What you do is you hit the A button on there, and you can enter your internet code. This brings up a series of questions to personalize your console and also to protect you from somebody, trying to break in, basically. We're not going to mess with any of that. We're going to back out. But you can select it, so if you wanted, for instance, little Billy to be able to play, the latest children's software but not be able to access any mature content, you can do that if you want to. So let's go into the sensor bar, and this is kind of interesting too. You can, of course, choose your sensor bar position either above or below your TV, and this is actually pretty interesting because when you do that, you can tell an immediate difference where your cursor is placed. It actually immediately shows that to you, so it's pretty beneficial. And by the way, as a side note, check this out. I can actually rotate my Wiimote at any time, and you can see my little cursor going up and about. It's very one-to-one. That's kind of cool. So we can also set sensitivity. And what you do here is you just hit plus or minus, and then hit the A button, and it will change the sensitivity of your on-screen reticule, or your cursor. And that's pretty handy too. If you've got some shaky hands, you might want to lower the sensitivity and vice versa. So you can see right here what I'm doing. You can actually see all of it. And we're done. So finally is the internet section. And again, we have to enter our PIN again to modify these. Go into it. Right, thank you, I've passed the restrictions. And what we can do now is go into connection settings. And if I were to do a brand new connection, you would obviously start from the beginning. We've already set some of these settings so we can try it. So I'm just going to change them. You can see we've got IGN here. And I can set all of this information if I want to. It can also detect it automatically for you, so you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Unfortunately, the browser is not working in this latest firmware update, or we'd show it to you. And we've also got console information, and it's just basic information about your console. We're going to blur this out again so no one can see it. So we're going to back out of all that now. And I can't access Wii Connect 24, like I said, so we're going to move on. And you've got either your language, or you can format your Wii system memory. We're not going to mess with any of those. Obviously, I don't want to be reading everything in French, so we're backing out. Now, we're going back to the main interface here. You'll notice at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you can access more information. This is where you would get your notes from friends. You could read messages, you can send messages, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'm actually going to go over to the calendar system located here. And you can see people have left notes every single day. And actually, this isn't people, these are actual games. So you get notes from your games saying, you've played for 2 hours and 10 minutes. Come back tomorrow. We're going to send a message, though, instead. We're not going to actually read anything. So you just click on a date, and then you go over to your memo here. You can add a me if you've got one, but we're going to do a post. And you can choose between a sort of phone-style messaging, or you can actually do a real keyboard. I'm going to do a real keyboard. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to actually find these letters. So I've got H-E-L-L, whoa-oh. So it takes some practice, but I did it the first time, hello. It took about 5 seconds, right? If I wanted to post that, I could. I'm not going to. And you can also go to your address book. And what you see there, and we're blurring this out, and this is very important though, the console's Wii number. And I think this is going to figure into your online network. This is going to play directly hand in hand with the friend code system. So you're not going to be entering friend codes for each one of your games. Your console is going to have a number, and that's just going to be the end of it. It's going to make life a lot easier and online play a lot more intuitive. So we're back at the Wii Channels interface, and I've just loaded a disc into it so you can see what that looks like. Again, this is going to be Trauma Center. One of the mini games we actually have now, we're actually able to play temporarily. You can see it's loaded it, and now we've got Trauma Center Second Opinion up in the little icon. I'm going to click on that. And at any time I can exit right back out. It's very smooth, it's a seamless transition, it's very quick. Or I can go and play the game. It's very simple. So I'll just go ahead and show you that, and we'll take you out of the Wii interface and into the gaming environment with that. Thank you very much for joining us for this presentation.